and have had a wonderful weekend, I should say, since it is just about over with. My name is James. Welcome to Perseverance Reef. So, a few changes have been made, as you can see. I have totally rearranged the rock work, and I'm actually going to do a little bit more still. But I decided to make this all one big island, uh, partially because of a new addition that I got. Now, typically, if you would want to add, especially something like a hippo tang, which I just got yesterday, you would want to add it before the powder blue. You'd want the powder blue to be the last tang normally. But in a situation like mine, where I wasn't sure if I was going to get a hippo tang or not, I added, the powder blue came first, and I had gotten it for such a good price that, I couldn't resist it. So, it was an offer I couldn't refuse, is what I mean to say. And I couldn't resist it because he's beautiful. But so's the hippo tang. Anyway, so I got it, and as I was acclimating it, I rearranged the rockwork. So that helps a lot because it makes the fish feel like it's in a new place, and it makes you think, hey, maybe this fish was here all this time. So it doesn't bully it as badly. When I had first put it in without rearranging the rock, that tang was like trying to bite at the bag and even made a hole in it. But once I rearranged everything, and I finally let the hippo tang out, he bullied her for a little bit, but she actually was surprisingly, she wasn't all that scared, is what I'm trying to say. She was quite courageous. And for a little while, he had her pinned against one side of the tank. And then he stopped bothering her as long as she stayed there. But gradually, she started swimming more, and he started bullying her less. And today, she's out and swimming. So let's see if we can focus on her real quick. And there are other changes that I've made too. But there is the little gem, and yes, please pardon the salt water that is all in, all over the front of the glass. I just haven't had a chance to clean it up yet, but I did want to go live. Well, hello. How you doing, cool guy? I hope that everything's going good. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Awesome. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So, as many of you know, I've been fighting dinoflagellates again. They're always going to be an issue when you do new things. How old are the fish? I got my first ones back in December, and well, the little hippo tang is probably only a couple of months old. They grow quickly. They grow faster than the powder blues. And the powder blue is probably a couple of years old. The sulfur damsel, that yellow one that you see swimming around, is probably on the order of a year. And the sergeant majors are probably about that old too. Actually, probably closer to a year and a half, especially the big one. But most of his growing has been in this tank. He was a lot. He was probably about a third of this size when I got him, if that. And the other one was even smaller. So, although that one hasn't grown as much because that one's the female. It's kind of the opposite with them and the clownfish. It's the female that dominates in clownfish and the male in damsels, most damsel species. Not all, though. But just like the clownfish, damsels can change sex too. Like when one dies, the other can go from female to male, just like clownfish can go from male to female. But once they change for both the clownfish and damsels, they cannot go back. So I'm going to take you off the tripod real quick because I want to show you a few other, whoops, sorry guys, but I'm going to show you a few other little additions. This guy is a fighting conch, and he is doing an amazing job. Do you see, if you remember last week how bad the sand bed was? This guy, yeah, this guy right here, and let's see if I can find, that's Dyson, by the way. Ironically, these are the ones that have names, although the fish are eventually going to get names too. And here, let's see if we can't, there we go. That's Hoover. I think you get the theme that I'm going with here. Next one will probably be Kirby. There's one of my Trocus snails. I mean, as you can see, dinos cover a lot of stuff, but slowly but surely I've been getting that taken care of. And I have kind of allowed the algae to grow on the back because there are creatures that eat it. I mean, I saw a chitin on the glass last night when I was scraping it. And, you know, they'll eat that. Pods will eat it. A lot of things that'll eat it, but you can see how bad this still is. It takes time, though, guys. And I want to tell you, if you do a reef tank or even a freshwater tank, don't, and yes, these are scratches in the glass, or on the outside of the tank, which I'm going to buff out eventually. Once I get a little bit of time, I'm going to get back to work on that. And this is going to be probably days worth of work to buff these out, but it'll be worth it. And down there you can see the powder blue. And Dory, I'm calling her Dory for now, but that may change. Because the last hippo tang I had, I named Dory, but yeah, there she is, see? Even though this makes it look way bigger, she's actually probably about $half sized, I would say, at this point. So, but she's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm glad that she's doing well. Okay, and so I've also added a few turbo snails. I think 2 of them are actual Mexican turbos, and I think 2 of them are zebra turbos. And they may actually all be, but I'm pretty sure that, like these guys here, I think are quite possibly zebra turbos. But I know 2 of them I suspect are Mexican turbos. This one is one of the ones I suspect is just a regular, or no, this is one of the ones that I think is a zebra turbo. It's just hard to tell. They sold them all as Mexican turbo snails. But they only get to be about, 3 inches or 2 inches in diameter, maybe 3. if you're really, really, really fortunate. But these guys, some of them, a couple of them, I'm trying to find the other two right now. I think I know where they are, but it's kind of hard to get a picture of that area. Whoa, almost fell over my tripod. I'm doing really good today. But there's a little sad news, though, that I do have to go over. Hey, Mary Beck. How you doing? I hope you're having a great, or Mary Black, excuse me. My eyes sometimes aren't the best either. But how are you doing today? I hope you're have been having a good weekend. Memorial Day is almost here, and it'll be a 3-day weekend next week. But you see this urchin shell, or the test as it's called. Well, it was a living urchin yesterday. I had bought it, and by the time I got it home, it was already clouding the water. I live about 45 minutes away from this particular LFS, and there's sad news to report on that front too. The owner, who I consider a very near and dear friend, sadly, his wife passed away in December, and this guy is a lot like me. He's been through a lot. And, so he's got a lot going on in his life, and so he's had to be away, and he's going to have to be away for a while, and as a result, he's just closing it down, and I can't blame him. And I think that, he's done his best with things, but I think maybe, and I don't even know, because he has always had immaculate tanks. Yeah, I think it's quite possible. I mean, the salinity in the bag was 1.021. I mean, it's brackish water, straight up. It's hard to know what that tank had gone through while he was dealing with all this, especially lately. I bought a lot of good stuff from him, and I not only I'm not worried. I mean, I'm sad that I lost the urchin, but if it was something that may have had to do with his system and then coming to my system even though it was a 2-hour acclimation, I mean, I was at 1.027. And I would have made it a 4-hour acclimation, honestly, but there was stuff already that reminded me of poop, but it was white, and I knew that something really wasn't right, but he looked alive. So I did my best to acclimate him, but that water got so bad that I was worried it was going to die if it stayed in there much longer. So I kind of rushed the acclimation at the end, and I think he may have already been on the way out before he ever hit the tank. So, I mean, even as he was being acclimated. So, but, I don't care about the money. I just want this guy, this friend of mine, to be okay. So, I want him to take care of himself. Who knows, maybe one day he'll reopen. But right now, it would not be a good thing for him. I mean, I know a little more about this situation than I feel comfortable sharing here. So I totally understand why things are the way they are right now. So if you're listening, my friend, or if you're watching this video, know that I think the world of you. You're a great guy. And, like I've said to you before, reach out to me if you need to talk. Anytime, and I will answer as quickly as I possibly can. So, okay, I'm going to move on to some other things. As you can see, there's definite progress that's being made. These guys are kind of closed up because I came in with the turkey baster a little while ago and cleared some of the dinoflagellates off of these rocks. So I really want these snails to get something that isn't just dinoflagellates in their little snail systems. And yeah, I mean, I do keep tweaking the tank. The only reason I did it this time, though, was so that the hippo tang could get in here and not be harassed. Oh, and one other thing to understand, to know and to understand. Unless you've been doing this kind of thing for a while, I would absolutely wait until the end to add a powder blue. But in this instance, I know that because this powder blue is very much a juvenile still, and I know that hippo tangs grow way faster. I've watched it happen. They grow way faster than powder blues do. And they get much more massive. So by the time he's fully grown and gets more aggressive, this tang will be able to absolutely whip his butt if he tries something. But at the same time, they're really docile. They're very active, but they're docile. They're not super aggressive, but they can be if they need to be. They can defend themselves. Trust me. They don't call them surgeon fish for nothing. Those little scalpels they got in their tails, they'll use them if it's needed. But, I'm really glad she's healthy. So, does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask? Feel free to ask me anything you want to know, or let me know if there's content you want to see me do. Because, for me, this isn't just about getting subscribers or that sort of thing. I really want to genuinely help people. And yes, I want to show off my reef. But, I also want to show you that at the beginning, sometimes this is how it goes. I mean, it's the ugly phase. But a lot of good stuff is happening, even though I may not look it. I mean, I have all kinds of sandworms. I do have some worms that live in the sand, but I have a lot of feather duster worms. Like you just saw, I think, an nematode floating. Those are actually good to have. And you can see how much fluorescence since I added the blue lighting. These are ATI actinic blue lights. And you can already see how much pop there is, even with the halides. I mean, it's amazing, and these bulbs are old as the hills. I'm going to replace all 4 of them eventually, but I need to get 2 for the other side, and I need to get a ballast. That's something I hope to do within the next few months, but right now I want to keep adding cleanup crew as I can afford to do so. I mean, this guy, and you can see how far he's gone since I showed him to you just a little bit ago. There's Hoover. There's his shell. I mean, Dyson is all in right now. Let's see if I can get a better picture. I think he's on this rock, so may not be able to see his little proboscis like that. Oh, yep. Yeah, I can. I see it. Let's see if I can angle this just right. So I do also want to ask you guys, and please comment and let me know these things. Do you prefer my live videos, or do you prefer the regular videos? And please let me know. Don't hold back. I really want to know what you guys would like to see. If you like what you're seeing and have been seeing, if there are any improvements you'd like me to make, let me know. Because this channel is about you guys every bit as much as it is about me. You guys all matter to me. You know, I want to see all of you do well. Not just in your reefs, but in your lives. So yes, my viewers matter to me. Even the one, you know, even if you don't comment or subscribe, but you view my channel anyway, to me, you're still a member of the Perseverance Reef community. Ha. So, and I appreciate it. And I do appreciate all my subscribers. So. And if you do like this content and you haven't subscribed yet, I do encourage you to please do so, because it will help this channel tremendously. And it will hopefully help me to bring you even better content as time goes on. Alright, so there's a couple other things I want to focus on real quick. Like I said, improvements are coming. There's some coralline peeking out of there, and it's starting to happen in other places too. And you see, another reason I've added these particular snails and chose them was because not only were they good and healthy and active, they've got coralline on them. And that's going to help. And here's one of my feather duster worms that I was talking about too. But the spores from this coralline is going to help seed the rock in the days to come. And this system will settle down and really begin to blossom. Here's more coralline. And I'm starting to get decent amounts of it in and on the rock work. So that's kind of important. And here you really can see some of that. It's a matter of keeping conditions in the water, particularly the water conditions as steady as possible within reason. I mean, even in the ocean, despite what they tell you, or what some will tell you, particularly in certain not so reputable local fish stores, There is variation on the reef to a point, especially in smaller areas like tide pools and lagoons and, intertidal species. There can be a very rapid water chemistry changes within a matter of seconds, just depending on the waves coming in. Now, granted, on the reef slopes, the fore reef, those areas, and even the reef crest to a point, does tend to be a little deeper, so the water quality and temperatures and everything, they do tend to be fairly stable in those places, but even there are variations at times in the temperature. I mean, that's just how it is on planet Earth. Weather changes even in the tropics to a degree. Thunderstorms can cool the water pretty quick, or a hurricane comes, the water temperature drops for a while. As long as it's reasonable, you should be good to go. And let's see, I want to show you. Now it's front and center, and I think it's the coolest thing ever, and it's sheltered. And come on, James. There you go. See that? It's a nice green sponge. And it's been doing amazing. It's actually been growing slowly. I hope to find more of these guys. I'm hoping to find more of these guys eventually. But since it is so slow growing, it may take a while. But just the fact that it's in here, that's awesome. So, I've got some really good stuff happening in here. And I'm going to try and take a few top-down shots, because some of this, you can see the coralline through here. That's starting to grow here. There's a ton of it. So, this reef is beginning to mature. Even though I've rearranged stuff. I mean, you can see that there are some really good changes happening. And I mean, these guys are actually doing pretty good. They're starting to come out a little more even as I speak. And you can kind of see the reflection of the ATI blue plus, or not blue plus, actinic blues, or they call them. Although true actinic is actually very much a violet color. So, yeah, you can see the water movement. Here it's not as great, but I'm also going to be adding flow eventually. So that's going to help a lot too. This tank's going to become a lot higher flow eventually. But for now, I'm trying to just put the pieces in place to let this thing explode in coralline growth. But even more importantly, to let it explode in just regular growth. The creatures, the denizens of the deep, the reef inhabitants, they have to absolutely come first, as far as that goes. So there are a few things I'm going to do. Some of what's over here, as this fish becomes a little more comfortable, I actually want to round that area out a little bit more. And, I mean, not super crazy, but, that rock right here in behind the Kenya tree. I'm actually going to take it and cover an area. Let's see if I can get a picture of that area. I may not, but, well, yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to see. There's kind of an area where I'm trying to turn into a cave area. But I also want this to be fairly flat, at least in places, because, I mean, yeah, I love that structure though, right there. But, and that's a fairly big cave in there. And right behind these colonies is a big old area that's going to become cavey. But at the same time, I want these to be somewhat flat because I need to add coral. I want to get tabling acropora in here, at least one. But I also want to have a bunch of montipora and like, I think it's Porites, I think is the right name, way to pronounce it. I want to get one of those as a Christmas tree worm rock, because to me it's not a reef if you don't have those. Well, okay, maybe that's not quite accurate, but still I want one very much. But over here, it's going to become, I have ideas for this area. I may get a Durasa or a Squamosa for that area. Eventually, I'm going to have either a Crocea clam and a Maxima clam, or I am going to have one or two of the other. Probably back here somewhere. And right about there on that rock that looks a lot like a volcano right now, if I do end up with a Rotary, I still want one. That sucker may very well go here. It'll be the tallest spot in the tank, and it's practically right under a 400-watt halide. And by the time it would come, it'll also have full powered and hopefully fairly brand new ATI Actinic Pluses beaming down on it too. So it'll have a lot of white and a lot of blue in that area. And these lamps are 80-watt lamps, the actinic blues. So that would be 320 watts of actinic ATI actinic blues altogether. In addition to the 800 watts of metal halide light. Okay, but guys, if you have any, like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I mean, I know that my reef is not the prettiest looking on YouTube by any stretch, but I also want you to see this phase, and I want you to see that it does go away eventually. That it can be done, and you don't necessarily have to spend tons and tons of money to get it done. But you do definitely need to buy cleanup crew. That is something worth investing in. And selecting the right creatures will help you in the long run. But sometimes you're going to have losses too, as you can see. The urchin, for instance, didn't make it. Unfortunately, those things do happen sometimes. Good news, though, is that there will be other urchins eventually. There's going to hopefully be several in here. But those urchins, God willing, are going to thrive. So, and to God be the glory. Because he made all this. And yeah, okay, like I said, it's not very pretty right now. It's still undergoing a lot of changes, and it's still in its, this tank's in its infancy. Reefing is a long game, guys. So with that, I'm going to conclude this live. But guys, reef smarter, not harder. And remember that budget reefers get the most bang for their buck. You have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. Stay safe and keep on reefing. Budget reefer way. Goodbye, guys.